What's on, where, and when. It's the Talk of Nelson. NBS Talk Nelson.
Banking for life means trust, stability, and confidence.
You're there for the lifetime, and NBS providing that right through.
The Mako Rugby Roundup.
Welcome to the Mako Rugby Roundup, episode 18, coming to you from the Turf Hotel. Welcome back, Les.
Yes, nice to be here. Thanks, Chris. And, always good to be talking after a Mako win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The sun is out. The sun is shining. Thanks to Stan and the team from the Turf. And don't forget to check out what's happening this weekend on their Facebook page. And a very special guest is Jack Gray, who is with the Tasman Mako and also Kahurangi. So welcome, Jack. Nice to have you here, mate.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Pleasure.
So first of all, we like to go back to the early days. So when did it all start for you? Where do you originally hail from?
Yeah, nice. So I was born in Lower Hutt, in Normandale, one of the hills there, and my old man played quite a bit of footy, so he took me down pretty early. I guess I was probably 7 or 8. Went down to Hutt Old Boys. We had some family friends who kind of coached the team, and Dad's mates from the pub, I guess, and their kids all played. So jumped in there. I think I was playing under 10s, and I was a hooker. Had absolutely no idea what I was doing, but so that was good. That was kind of my first intro to rugby, and then kind of went from there.
So schooling wise, what schools did you go to, and did that kind of influence where you went with your rugby? Did you start enjoying rugby and decide where that path might take you?
Yeah, I guess I didn't go to any amazing. Like I went to super small schools, basically.
Yeah,
small primary, small intermediate, Hutt intermediate, just the local schools, and it was a mixture of playing things like league and touch and athletics, and which I was I was terrible at all of them. And then I guess it probably wasn't until kind of like the age grade teams around under 16s, under 15s, under 14s, like those teams where I started to take it more seriously, I guess, and think, I actually did enjoy playing. And that was like Wellington age grades, Hutt Valley age grades. And then so when I was 15, I think it was, I went from being at Hutt Valley High School, which I was there for year 9 and 10, and then moved to Scots College. And that was mainly for rugby, really.
Right.
Had a family.
Somewhere from being a kid to being a teenager, you fell in love with the game.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where it happened, to be fair. Like I said, I enjoyed most sports, really. Not that I was any good, but really enjoyed athletics. That was probably the first sport that I took seriously. Started to try and compete in that in 100 and 200 meter, and that was kind of through intermediate first years of high school. And like I said, touch rugby was always enjoyable. And then I could just guess through all my mates playing and things like that at high school, I enjoyed the game more and took it more seriously, and ended up with the opportunity to go to Scots, and that was definitely like the turning point in my kind of life, really, not just my rugby career, but that was definitely one of the best decisions I've made. And like I said before, I'm not sure where I'd be if I didn't do that, because that changed a lot of things for me. So
the path was mainly through club, but you played for a school as well, and obviously played some age grade representative stuff, but then it was really into first 15 rugby. Is that where it started getting a bit more serious? Yeah,
I guess so. So when I was at Hutt Valley High in year 9 and 10, I was like 60 kilos dripping wet. I was a very small fella, and I didn't make any teams there. Like I didn't make the under 15s. So I ended up going to play club instead because I didn't make a team at school. So it was the two of us, one of my good mates, Ollie Wrigley, and I. We both went and played for Petone under Darren Larson, and that was year 9. Year 10, I played under 65s. Again, that was probably the only team I could really make. Really enjoyed that, and then literally 12 months later, like I said, I went to Scots and ended up playing first 15 somehow. So I'd kind of gone from the under 65s to like Div 3 under 65s, really.
So so you put on some weight?
Not really.
No,
Nah.
still a lightweight.
Yeah.
You're not a small lad now.
Yeah, it's always been the big, not an issue, but something that I've put a lot of effort into is trying to get bigger. And like I said, I've always been a bit of a string bean. So yeah, when I went into first 15, I still would have been 70, 75 kilos really. Like there's some footage of us playing first 15 against Rotorua in the final, and well, I'm just like, I look like this compared to most of the boys there. They were pretty big. So yeah, like I said, it's all putting on weight has always been a big thing for me, and even still, like I would just lose weight so quickly.
So someone saw you at Scots College and said, "Oh, we'll have him," because from not getting selected in any teams to then suddenly making the first 15. What you said, you played hooker in age grade,
Yeah.
but what did you morphed into the wing? Had you always played wing?
So yeah, I think through those under 65 and under 15 days, etc., I was playing a bit of midfield and second 5, 13. And then, like I said, with the mix with athletics, I guess I enjoyed playing out a little bit wider maybe. And when I went to Scots, played under 15s there again. And loved it so much. We had such an awesome team, great coaches, great boys. And then I started going onto the wing there. And the head coach of the first 15 was Philo Tiatia. Who's an excellent coach, and he'd just taken over from Earl Va'a, another excellent coach. And yeah, I had an all right season for the under 15s and really enjoyed it, like I said. And there were a couple of injuries in the first 15. Like I said, I was still 15 at this stage. And I think, rest in peace, Connor Garden Bishop, he had actually got injured in the first 15, and that was kind of my opportunity to go in there. And from there, I don't know, it's just kind of happened, I guess. But
so you mentioned athletics, so you obviously had some running legs, and so as you got older, you sort of went out to the wing. So was speed was something that you did have?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I lacked, like I said, the size, of course. And to be fair, probably the skills. Like, I've never been the most skillful fella. So yeah, the speed, I guess, was the kind of thing I relied on and enjoyed. Yeah.
Amongst the current squad of the Mako, where do you rank in quick?
No, I'm not quite up there, really. There's a few fast boys, to be fair. Like, I mean, everyone's fast these days, but like, yeah, Maka, Kyron, Brody, those guys are all pretty quick over 100. I'm not sure how it'd go these days.
We've got to have a race.
We don't really line up and have a race anymore. So
we got to do that.
I don't think I'd win it though.
Oh, you'd be top 4 probably.
If it's just us 4 racing, yeah.
So with Scots College, can you tell us about that team and how they went when you played, and maybe a couple of names?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so 2015 was my first year of the first 15. Also my first year at Scots College. And there were guys like Thomas Uminga Jensen, Peter Uminga Jensen, Alex Fidau, Connor Garden Bishop, to name a few anyway. And the previous year, Scots College drew with Hamilton in the final, was the top 4.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
In 2014. And they had guys like Malo Tuitama, TJ Va'a, Earl Va'a was coaching. They had the Uminga Jensen boys obviously still, Connor still. And Jackson Garden Bishop was around there, similar time. They definitely had the best first 15.
That's a good side.
Cracking names.
Yeah.
Cracking athletes.
And to foot it with Hamilton have just been dominating in that in more recent years.
Yeah. So Scots, so they drew the final, and they ended up. I can't remember if they shared the title or if it was it might have been given to Scots in the end due to, I'm not sure how it works, but whatever the rules are, whatever it comes down to. And then, like I said, in 2015, when I was there, we lost to Rotorua boys in the final, top 4 final. So it was a good couple of years for Scots. And yeah, I was just lucky enough, like I said, through injury and just kind of being there and to get a crack. And that was genuinely a massive turning point for me in my life and career was that year.
Now, the other reason why I kind of was interested that you had dabbled in some athletics, and we talk about pace, although it's interesting you're saying that perhaps you're not too sure you've put it with the local guys,
Yeah.
but obviously, there was some experience with sevens, and so tell us how that came about, and obviously the athletics and speed that. And also duration. I mean, you have to be pretty fit to be playing that game. So how did that introduction into sevens and then, wearing the black jersey?
Yeah, gotcha. I always loved sevens. Like at school, at Scots, loved playing sevens for Scots. They were a really good sevens side. There were like Ignite tournaments. I'm not sure if you'd heard of those, but when I was coming out of school, like sevens kind of combine tournament kind of things that they'd run. There wasn't really any nationals when I was coming through. But I loved playing sevens, and that was what I wanted to do, to be fair. Like after school, I wanted to try and take sevens seriously, really. Didn't really get the opportunity to. I missed out on Wellington Academy. It was actually a sevens tournament, the Condors, at the end of my last year in school. I got picked up by Auckland Academy. It was like December of my last year of school, really. So it was like a last minute kind of, I've got nothing. And they said, do you want to come up? Sweet, did that. And then, like I said before, with the weight thing, most off seasons when it's sevens time, I was trying to put on weight. So unfortunately, I wasn't really available to play sevens. Like I wasn't really allowed, or kind of thought if I want to be a serious 15s player, like I need to put on weight, really. And they thought that, I probably couldn't do that if I was playing sevens a lot, which is probably fair enough, but at that age anyway. And so, like I said, I love sevens all through that, kind of had a few years away from it. And then, after NPC last year, it was actually just after we lost to Canterbury, and we'd had a couple of days of celebrating, I guess. And it was early morning, and got a phone call from the sevens, All Black sevens manager, and he kind of said, been watching you this year, and we're keen for you to come up for a couple of weeks, have a trial game, have a couple of weeks of training, and the boys go to Dubai next month, so you kind of never know, you might work your way onto the plane.
What is that?
Yeah, it was pretty random. It wasn't like, they'd talk to me before the season or anything like that. It was just...
And you'd imagine they'd be having a look at you at some sort of tournament or playing the game.
Yeah, but no.
They're watching a 15s game.
Yeah.
Saying the attributes this player's got.
Yeah.
Suit sevens.
Yeah, which is size and speed.
Yeah.
Because you're now 92 kg and you're
but that's right. But it must be also other attributes like, the breakdown or trying to get the ball if you do a tackle and defence. And so there's attributes that they must say that's perfect for sevens.
Yeah, I also think it's a little bit of a look into probably where the sevens program is at the moment, like in terms of there isn't a national comp.
Yeah.
They're starting to bring back some tournaments that I spoke about before. There's one I think coming up, but so they have to look elsewhere. They have to look at NPC. Like there's provincial comps, I guess, like Tasman Sevens, obviously, and most cities or regions will have a competition, but in terms of super high level stuff, there's not really anywhere for them to look. So I guess NPC is.
There used to be the Topo National Sevens,
yeah, that's right.
In a specific window at the end of the year.
Yeah, which I think is great, and I'd love it if they could bring it back. I'm not sure. It was obviously COVID, I think, kind of pulled things away and made things hard, which is fair enough. But it'd be awesome to see again. And
So you went up and had a crack, and then what happened from there?
Yeah, so I went up for a couple of weeks, did a trial game, kind of had forgotten how to play, really. Like it's completely different when you get to that level, which I didn't realise. I felt like I was playing a brand new sport, really. And then they sent the main team away to Dubai, and there's also an invitational tournament that goes around the outside of the stadium at Dubai at the same time as the World Series.
Oh, wow.
And they had sent a couple of us kind of as injury cover to go play in the invitational tournament just in case anyone got injured in the main side, and that ended up happening, which was cool for me anyway. And so I was super lucky again through injury and just kind of being there, same as first 15, funnily enough, to get called in for Jaden Keelan, who had injured his hamstring during the week, and ended up playing in Dubai.
Wow.
They only really carry like 13 players, and 12 players play each game. So basically, if you're there, you're most likely going to play. So it was a pretty nerve-wracking couple of days, to be fair. I was expecting to be playing in like a not social, but an invitational tournament and having a bit of fun. And I think it was the Wednesday, and then got sent to the team hotel, and
Crazy,
it was crazy. It was a pretty awesome.
But so
days.
exciting.
So
And of course, you would have met up with Tony Nashu, and
Yep.
you know
Tony's there.
who's a fellow Wanderers and
Exactly.
Mako man. So
exactly.
and then Maloney Kunawabe has also joined the Sevens program as well out of the Mako team. So you got a bit of a connection there. The three.
And was Andrew Newstub around?
Yep.
He was in
around.
there as well.
Yep,
right.
he was in there. Donny and Andrew, both kind of veterans of that team, and so they made it pretty easy for me. And
well, you talk about that Topo Sevens, of course. The Mako won it in 2019.
Yeah,
and those two players plus Trail Joas ended up becoming the cornerstone of Sevens for quite some time.
Exactly. I think there've been a few Mako boys who have gone on to do pretty well with the Sevens, so it's cool. It's cool to be a part of, and something that I'm definitely keen to keep doing.
So that was this off season, was it?
So straight after last year's NPC, the Sevens season kind of runs from November until about May-ish, depending on what year it is. But this season just gone was November to May.
What a cool experience.
It was awesome.
It
was outstanding.
So we've got to wind things back a bit, because for some reason you ended up at Wanderers, and so you played for Scots College.
Yep.
So go to Auckland.
Yeah.
You went to Auckland for the academy.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what happened from there?
Yeah, so I went to Auckland for academy, like I said, kind of on a last minute move up there and do some study, be part of the academy. I think I spent 3 years there, maybe. I mean, I loved it. Loved Auckland. Got family there and lots of awesome friends. Met some cool people. But the Auckland outside backs were outstanding at that stage. I think it was Caleb Clark, AJ Lamb, Salisi Rayasi. And like I said, I was about 80 kilos dripping wet, couldn't even play rugby. So I gave it my best shot for a few years and played age grade again, Blues 20s, Auckland 19s, etc. And then my third year, I think guys like Mark Talea, Will Jordan, etc. had kind of just got into the All Blacks, or they'd kind of just set themselves up in the All Black and established themselves in the All Blacks. So Tasman were looking for some wingers, and my agent just gave me a message and said, "Hey mate, Tasman looking for wingers, no contract or anything, but if you want to come down and play club, give it a crack, kind of get into their high performance squad and try and work your way in through club. There might be an opportunity there." And there were no promises made at all, which was great. And I just kind of thought, I was 22, 23, pretty set up in Auckland. Could have definitely said no and just stayed up there, played club, worked, decent job. And I kind of thought this is probably my last, although I was young, it's probably like my last crack at trying to do NPC, but being realistic. And so I did it. And like you said, with Wanderers, I think the head coach of Tassie, Greg Cornelius, he sent out a message to all the clubs and kind of said, this guy's going to come down from Auckland if anybody wants him. And Wanderers said, yep, sweet. So I moved out to Brightwater and went from Auckland, central Auckland to Brightwater, which is pretty different.
And you met Charlie Taylor.
Yeah, met Charlie Taylor.
Awesome.
Kyle Peggy, two absolute legends.
Yeah.
I lived with Kyle above the HQ there in the apartments, and now they set me up really well. I mean, I love my time at Wanderers.
Yeah.
It's such a cool club, and really thankful for them. Obviously, sorted me out when I got down here and made my move so easy.
And then what? So then, obviously, because Wanderers unfortunately isn't playing that first division, you really wanted to play first division, and really had to if you wanted to be on the radar for the Mako. So, how did that move to Kahurangi?
Come around? Played 1 full year for Wanderers, and we had an awesome team. Luca Roden was playing; he was our first five. We had a great team, and I thought we had huge potential. Not lots of depth, but I thought we could really go all the way. We didn't quite. And then the next year was super exciting again, like a really good core group of players. but I think it was about a week out from the start of this next season, and we had about 16 guys at training. And the coach kind of just said, we just can't, like, you guys are just going to get injured. If we're playing with 15 guys each week, we'd love to. Like, the coach was naming himself on the bench. He was ready to do everything, Ethan Rubin, that is. And it just wasn't really feasible. So they decided to pull pin, and I had a good relationship with the Kahurangi head coach, Brendan Smith, Bruiser. He got a couple of us over there and have loved it. So been pretty lucky, mate, I'd say, to be fair.
So that was 2023?
Yeah, that was 2023.
So that was last year. So you moved to Kahurangi and then they win the division.
24.
No, that's 24.
Yeah, 24. They won the Tasman Trophy.
Correct. Yeah, so 2023, I didn't actually spend all season with them. Myself and Angus Fletcher went over to South Africa and we spent some time there playing in a competition there.
Oh, wow.
Just to get kind of some different experience. And then came back towards the end of the season, end of club season, played some games with Kahurangi, did the pre-season Tassie stuff, and then was lucky enough to debut that year for Tassie. And then, like you said, the following year, last year, 2024, Kahurangi, we won the comp, which was awesome. Yeah, like I said, I've been super lucky. I'm super grateful. So many people to thank for getting me here and just making it so easy and enjoyable.
And so another season with Kahurangi this year, and a mixed bag, but towards the end there, it was like, oh, hang on, the train's coming back, Bit of an indifferent season, but it started getting itself together as the season went on.
Yeah, so obviously I was with the Sevens for quite a large majority of the season. I think I ended up playing 2.5 games. Similar to Stu Cruden, he was away in Ireland, and he's a massive part of that team. Like, he runs that team, and he's such a good player, such an underrated player, I think. So as soon as he came back, respectfully to all the other boys, like, they were doing so well with kind of the depth that we had and limited numbers, and Bruiser had obviously Brendan Smith, our head coach from last year, had taken a different role on, so he couldn't coach. So there were lots of changes, lots of moving parts, and the boys were doing so well to stay in the fight all season, kind of waiting for Stewie to get back, and he did. And
a couple of key players back, and you start firing.
Yeah, exactly, and started to turn it around a little bit. Got a couple of wins, and before you know it, we've made the top 4, and anything can happen from there, really, as you know. But yeah, it just didn't quite happen, which is unlucky, but that's footy.
So when did that connection with the Mako happen? So you're playing local footy, and obviously the part of it was your agent was saying, "Hey, Mako needs some wingers." So they must have had you on the radar, and Gray's teed you up with Wanderers. So when did it start becoming a realization? Oh, I might be able to give this a crack.
Yeah, so I did that first year just in the high performance squad and like doing the gym sessions and skill trainings after work, etc. Like the afternoon skill sessions that we do, playing club, and you're kind of getting feedback each week, and through your club performances, etc. Playing like Tasman development, etc. And I'm not really sure when I kind of thought that it was a possibility that I could actually play. Probably not until I was playing, really, to be fair. Like, not sure.
And what was that call up? When did that call up happen? Your debut.
So how did that happen? I think I'd kind of just been given a few weeks with Tasman throughout the NPC season just to kind of come in and train. Wasn't really expecting to play, to be honest. And then I think against North Harbour, the game that I debuted, they just decided to rest one of the wingers, Will Galter, who'd come from Canterbury, and a great player. And I was lucky enough to get my opportunity, mate. So I'm not really sure.
Was that 2023? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Nice.
Marco number
221. Well done. North Harbour at Trafalgar Park, mate. So it was an awesome game to be a part of. And like I said, it was probably not until the team got named that I thought I was actually going to be able to play for Tassie, to be fair. It just kind of popped up on the screen, and away we went.
What was that like? I mean, you're playing local club rugby, and then all of a sudden you're playing against North Harbour NPC.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess you'd experienced that with Sevens a little bit because, no, that was after, wasn't it? So in actual fact, this was the step up. So what was that difference like?
That was definitely the step up. That was my first proper taste of it. And I just remember being so tired, man. Like I was absolutely knackered in that game, eh? Like just blowing. Like, it was ridiculous. I'm not sure how many minutes I played, but it's probably not many. But I just remember I was like, man, I'm either super unfit or this is a massive step up and is super fast, which I think it was probably a mixture of both, to be fair. But it's obviously a massive step up.
No, I think it is a step up without a doubt from club rugby to NPC levels.
And they talk about that at each level, isn't it? Because you go from NPC to Super.
Yeah, exactly.
They talk about the same thing, and then people talk about their first time in an international, and they're just blowing. blowing it.
I'm sure the All Black Sevens was the next step up for you.
Yeah, and I think you can do like all the training you want, kind of thing, and I mean, it's all obviously going to help, but like the game's just a different story. Really.
And I guess when you're playing at that level, it's actually the other part of it is learning, when to go, when to rest, when to breathe.
Yeah, exactly.
Managing yourself across that game.
And when you're on debut, you can, like you're alluding to, like you can kind of just want to go.
Yes.
Which probably doesn't help you. So, you're right.
So 2023, you get a bit of a taste, and then 2024, same thing. And in actual fact, you get a crack at the Ranfurly Shield.
Yeah. Yep. So that was something else. Like. I was unlucky. I got injured pretty early in that game, but like that, watching that game, felt like I was still out there, and like the whole bench and the coaches we're up on our feet the whole game, pacing up and down the sideline. Like it was just so I've never been a part of something like that with that much intensity and just the energy. The energy there was crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously, when Campbell slotted that kick to win, like.
Pandemonium.
Mate, it was unreal. Like, nothing I've ever experienced before, man. That was one of the coolest moments in my career, and just to be a part of it. Like I said, even though I didn't play a massive part in the game,
you played it.
Yeah,
congratulations, man.
Thanks,
part of the first Ranfurly Shield winning team in our history. That's so awesome.
Was that my phone? Is it?
It'll be a trivial pursuit question, won't it? Name the 23 who played and won the Ranfurly Shield.
Well, that's right. Yeah, well, that's right.
Yeah.
So now that we're into this season, how are you feeling? You're feeling definitely part of the squad. Part of the team. And how does that work for you each season? Do you feel that as long as you did the Mahi, you're thereabouts, or do you have to go through the whole process again? Play club, do your training, get on the radar and hope for the best? Or
I guess this year was different for me because last year, at the end of 2023, I was lucky enough to spend some time with the Crusaders in their preseason, and then kind of as a result of that, I was given a 2-year contract with Tassie for 2024 and this year. So it was a little bit different for me in terms of I've been used to the club rugby, having to battle my way in each year, and of course you still have to prove yourself every game and every day really to play in this team. But it was a little bit different in terms of I didn't have to perform for club, like I was away with the Sevens, etc.
Yes.
And I was kind of guaranteed to be in the team. But obviously that doesn't mean anything. Like you've still got to earn your spot, earn your jersey, and you have to put in the mahi, like you said, every day to be a part of this team. Like the standard's so high, there's no room for anyone to be slacking off. And but yeah, I love playing with this team, mate. It's awesome to be a part of, and the culture's just unmatched. So
Jack, so far we haven't seen you this year.
No,
you've had a bit of a hip injury. But I did see a photo of you out on the training park again this week. So how far away are you from a return to the Mako team?
Yeah, hopefully next week, mate.
Available for selection?
Yeah, so I injured my hip in that game against Marist at Trafalgar Park for Kahurangi, which was about probably 8 weeks ago now. So it's been a little bit of a frustrating couple of months. Like I've just wanted to play so bad. Like I said, I just love playing for this team, and it's just I just want to be out there so bad. So hopefully next week is the week. We'll see. But like you said, get into my first kind of full week of team training this week, and we'll see how we go. Hopefully get some games on.
So 2 weeks of contact training.
Yeah.
And then, available.
Yeah, pretty much.
It'll be good to have you back. It helps, doesn't it, having a full squad?
And where do you see, what are you hoping for in the next few years? You hoping to be a regular NPC, and is Sevens still a goal for you?
Yeah. I Oh yeah, like I said, I want to keep playing for Tassie. Like there's no one else I want to play for. This is my home now, and I love playing for this team. And yeah, if it was up to me, I'd be here for the rest of my career, you know. So we'll see what happens with that. But in terms of the seven stuff, obviously the Olympics is 2028, so that'd be a pretty awesome thing to aim for. And similar thing, it's probably more up to other people at the moment in terms of contract, etc. So we'll just see how that goes. But dream result will be playing Tassie and playing either Super or Sevens, potentially.
Yes.
Can you play both Super and Sevens?
Not really, no.
So you'd have to make a decision.
If I was lucky enough to be offered both, yeah, I would have to make a decision.
Okay.
But at the moment, I've got neither, so we'll see.
No, but you know, the Crusaders know who you are,
Yeah,
and the Sevens know who you are. So
yeah, we'll see. Just like I said, it's a lot of rugby is just kind of seeing how things unfold and focusing on, like I said, at the moment, it's me getting back on the field. So
we've got pretty good, facilities here at Marlborough as well, Trafalgar Park or whatever. But we've got a pretty good athletics set up. So have you had a crack at that? Or have a go out there? No,
I actually haven't. And like I said, I'm not sure how quick I'd be on the track anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, quick fire round, Les. So let's hit them.
yeah, well, we have asked you who you know how you rank yourself in speed, but who's the fastest in the squad in your opinion?
Fastest in the squad, yeah, it's either Maka or Brodie, Maka Spring or Brodie Robinson. I'd say they'll be pretty close.
Yep.
Who was the other one we talked about last week? He plays club rugby.
Might have been Brodie.
Was it Brodie?
Brodie Robinson.
Yeah,
he plays pretty fast, and then Kyron Tomafalo.
Yeah.
He's quick as well. The four that we're going to match race at some stage.
Yeah, that's
Hugh Bainan permitting. End of season dream. Who's got the best banter, mate?
Oh, it's hard to look past Ethan Blackadder. He's got.
People say that, eh?
He's got great chat, man. He can like. Oh mate, he could talk to a wall, you know, like he can just talk to anyone, and he's good time, great time.
Yeah, he's a good human.
He's a great human.
Best roommate or worst?
Worst roommate, best roommate. Well, I live with Tane Robinson, so rooming with him on the road would probably suck because I'm already sick of him. Yeah. So, no, I enjoy Maka and I have been roomies a few times. They tend to put positions close to each other, so. No, he's enjoyable.
Yep. And then last but not least, where would you most love to play a game of rugby and against who?
Oh, it's hard to.
And who for?
Hard to beat Trafalgar Park. I don't know. I mean, Twickenham has always been a pretty big stadium. That's a tough one.
Where's the next Olympics?
2028.
And where is it?
Los Angeles.
Well, so LA Stadium.
Yeah, so we played
Sevens final.
Yeah, we played at LA actually this year for Sevens. So that was awesome. Like Dubai was awesome, Cape Town. But yeah, I think Twickenham would probably be
that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Well done, Jack, and thank you.
Now, I tell you what, Jack, I mean, for a guy that just made no teams right throughout his career, you've done pretty well.
Couldn't play.
Yeah,
good enough.
Crap rugby player.
But you're very unassuming.
But the boy can run.
Yeah. And he can play rugby.
Yeah, that's right.
I appreciate it.
All right. Well, you're going to stick around with us, mate, because we've got all sorts of picks and results to go through, and we need some extra mind power to this.
Let's do it.
The Farah Palmer Cup results from the weekend: Manawatu 45 over Bay of Plenty 31, high scoring game. North Harbour 36 over Taranaki 12. So North Harbour actually looking pretty good. Check this out: the Canterbury women 72 over Hawke's Bay women. And then Northland, again, Les, I mean, Northland women had a huge win last week. So 25-7 against the Tasman Mako. Not a massive blowout.
No, so it was there. And this was the second game. So the wet weather really came in. And the Northland forward pack, pretty strong. Crystal Murray playing prop there. And it was 25-0 at half time. Oh. So the Tasman women actually won the second half 7-0, and I think that scoreline is just a second scoreline where I'm impressed with the improvement in this team under Latoya Mason as coach and Stephanie Mitchell as captain. there's lots to like about what's going on in that team.
Yeah, absolutely. So on Sunday, Otago Spirit 32 over Wellington Pride 26. So that was pretty close. And Waikato women 27 over Counties Monaco 26. So very tight game, that one. So the fixtures for this weekend, Taranaki taking on the Tasman women. That is in Taranaki. And I presume Taranaki, this may be an opportunity for the Mako women to potentially pull out a result.
Without a doubt. They would have earmarked this game as one to really get up for. Funny time, 11:35 in the morning. But I guess I'd travel Friday, stay overnight, and then be prepared to play at 11:35. And I'll tip a win for Tasman in this one.
Then we've got Canterbury women versus Counties Monaco. We've got North Harbour taking on Wellington, and then the Auckland Storm taking on Bay of Plenty. All right, so the Bunnings NPC results from the weekend, and on Friday it was Southland 29 over Manawatu 22, so 29-22. So good win by the Stags, eh?
Did you watch it?
I did, yeah. It was, what was it?
It's a game of two halves.
22 at half time.
Yeah.
So, to Manawatu.
Yeah. Never say die footy from the Stags, so that was cool to see.
Reminds me of another game which we're going to talk about not too distant future. But 22-0 at halftime to Manawatu. Canterbury, geez, aren't they looking strong? 21-7 against Bay of Plenty.
Yeah, mate. I thought Bay of Plenty, one of the strongest squads in this comp. I tipped Bay of Plenty to win this, but a mate of mine thought otherwise. And Canterbury just too good on the day. And their halves are going well.
Yeah, I was going to say, it must be Louis Chapman, his effect on the team, so good on him.
And then we've got Taranaki 50 over Auckland 8, man. So either Auckland are woeful, or we know that Taranaki is a very strong side, and it's interesting the men are so strong, but the women, they struggle a bit in the Farah Palmer Cup, don't they? But Auckland just not firing at all. And then we've got Hawke's Bay 36 over North Harbour 22, so showing their strength. Otago 46 over Wellington 41. Who saw this coming? But Otago building, aren't they? They've
Yes,
had not a bad start to the season.
Yeah, they're a good team, aren't they?
Yep.
Waikato 27 over Counties Monaco 26.
Did you see this one?
I did, yeah. I saw both the men and women Waikato win with a last minute.
And it's the same score as the women. How's that?
I think they were both penalties to win. So it's obviously some good footy being played.
I felt sorry for Counties. They've done everything possible to try and win this game, and then unfortunately a penalty against in the last minute. But there was another game, of course, that we must talk about.
That's right. Tasman 28 over Northland 14 at Seminoff Stadium, and take us through the game, Jack. What did you think?
Obviously super wet day.
Yeah.
Which I think, if you look at it on paper, probably you'd think would play into Northland's hands. They've got quite a big pack and enjoy that style of footy. They've got a good strong maul, etc. I think the boys were probably slightly disappointed with how it finished, to be fair. Obviously we got the win, which is great, and so many positives to take out of it, but felt like we probably left some points out there and maybe didn't need to concede 14. But overall pretty happy. I think the boys kind of stayed in the fight and rode the waves in terms of pressure cycles throughout that game. It was kind of ups and down, and like I said, with the weather makes it hard. So I think they did well to kind of stay in it. So we got the win.
Yeah, I think the coaches would be happy with the bonus point. But watching it live, it was just a bit disjointed. It was a clunky old game. We didn't quite put it all together, but that's great because there's always room to improve and to do that. But I went up there, remember we went up there and got smashed not too far.
It's a hard place to play.
Yes. So it's an interesting, and it was wet.
Yeah.
I did go there. This was a trip away for me, and it was a great experience. Really cool grandstand and hospitality. Caught up with Nipper Brett Thornelly, who was there to
yeah.
watch his son make his debut.
Oh,
You know,
awesome.
Will Thornelly from Maris made his debut, and that was a proud moment for the family. And yeah, it was just a good occasion, and I was delighted that we came home with a bonus point win.
Yeah, that's right. And, opportunistic tries, wasn't it? So,
Yeah, two of them were very open.
Yeah. But you've got to do that. If you're putting pressure on them, they make mistakes. And, if you can pounce on those mistakes, that's in your favour. So, okay, let's look at the fixtures. We've got to do.
Before we
go.
do,
Yes.
we do the Mako Man and the Grit Award. Do you
yes.
know who got those? Can you recall?
Yeah, so Sione Havili Talitui, he was returning from injury. It was his first game back from injury, off the bench, probably played a little bit longer than he was expecting after Johnny Lee unfortunately went down after 5 minutes. So he ended up playing the whole game and took out all three of our awards, I'm pretty sure. He got Mako Man tied with Ethan Blackadder and Davey, but the other two, Mako Grit and basically reserve of the week, he took all three of them. So he had
and he was very strong. He's such a good player.
Yeah,
and he made one tackle close to us. Well, no, he was actually carrying the ball.
Oh, yeah.
And he ran into, could hear it.
Give you a fright.
Yeah, unreal.
It's pretty loud.
It is loud. He hits people hard.
Yeah.
And he's not big, but he's so tough.
Yeah. Yep. Hang on.
Just have to mention, Les, now to think about it, what did you think of the setup? So we had Willie at first five. We had
Davey at fullback.
Leicester, Davey at fullback, Leicester in the midfield. Do you think that combo worked quite well?
Well, like I'm saying, it was a bit disjointed. So, others would have to judge that than me. I think that everyone sort of did what they had to do to win that game. But it seemed to me odd that, there was a change at first five. I thought Cooper Grant had gone really well the week prior, and I like Willie as a fullback. But it's the coach's call. But it wasn't a smooth performance. One observation: at some point, Leicester went onto the flank, onto the side of the scrum. So they're talking about Leicester as kind of like a hybrid player.
He is.
Well, he proved that he's big enough and strong enough to go and push a scrum as well. So,
yeah, that's right.
Look, I'm not sure, mate. Jury's out for me, but we'll keep watching and see what the coaches come up with.
Big boot on Davey. If you're clearing out of your 22,
there is no doubt about that.
Geez, he can kick that ball. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do our picks now, Jack. So round 4.
Yep.
And we've got Bay of Plenty versus Southland. It's at Rotorua International Stadium. So you would have played up that way?
Yeah. Hard to look past Bay of Plenty, obviously, for me. Yeah, like you said, one of the front runners at the moment. Yeah. So I think they'll be
Southland have been hanging in there, haven't they? They almost came back against Northland, and then they turned around against Manawatu. It's good to see them back. So on Friday, Hawke's Bay versus Canterbury at McLean Park. Man alive, Les.
Yes, man alive, all right. Well, that's going to be a wonderful game to watch. Did someone tip that first game? Plenty.
Yeah,
Bay
of Plenty.
The Boppers.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right there, mate. But Southland will give them a good shake.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to go with Hawke's Bay home ground advantage only.
Yeah, I like that. Liz, I'm with you, Hawke's Bay.
Isn't it right? At home. Even after Canterbury tipped up Bay of Plenty.
Yeah. Well, if they tip up both of those, they'll have tipped up the two teams that I thought were going to dominate this competition. Let's see. You'll take Canterbury then.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take Canterbury. I never pick Canterbury, so there you go.
You're welcome.
I'll pick Canterbury. I'll back the Red and Blacks. Taranaki versus Waikato, and on paper, you'd normally say this would be a cracker, but Waikato just haven't fired yet, have they?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think Taranaki, this will be for the Ranfurly Shield, obviously, at home, and Taranaki. I think they'll be too strong, to be fair. Waikato have got a good team. But yeah, Taranaki too strong for me.
I'm with that.
Okay, and we'll skip one and come back to the other one. Auckland versus Northland. That's at Eden Park. And you'd have to say on form, Northland would win this.
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
Auckland 0-3. Unusual, disappointing for them.
The Taniwha will be up for this game. Beating Auckland at Eden Park.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, well, I want you to tip it. Come on.
Northland.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll go Northland as well.
Go the Taniwha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon. Okay, North Harbour versus Tasman, and
No, well, we've got a couple others, haven't we?
you want to come back to
Yeah,
two
yeah.
games? All right. Okay,
We'll
so
finish with our game.
on Sunday, Otago versus Counties Manukau. That's at
Yep.
Forsyth Spa Stadium.
Yeah, and Otago showing really good form at home. I'll tip that one.
Yep, me too. Otago.
Manawatu versus Wellington. This is at Central Energy Trust Arena, so Manawatu at home. And Wellington, well, you wouldn't have picked them going down to Otago, would you? So
Nah, I doubt they'll lose 2 weeks in a row, to be fair, so I'll go Wellington.
yeah, surely they're too strong, aren't they, Wellington?
They should be.
Yeah. Okay. Can we talk about?
Yes.
We can talk about Tasman now. So, so here's my take on it, and I don't want to give anyone the willies, or the jitties or whatever you want to call it. But North Harbour have not been travelling well, but we know about the record against North Harbour.
Yeah, up there.
If Tasman has a bogey team, it's North Harbour, isn't it?
It has been. Did you get a win on your debut?
Yeah,
I think just trying to remember.
So we've broken that.
Well, that's at home. Up there, we've had some losses and we've had a draw. But come on, I'm hearing right. So the drum beat says a debut coming up for Brady Robinson.
I don't know if the team's been named yet.
It will be by the time this podcast.
Oh, it will?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're gonna fill in some gaps for us. Yeah. So some injuries. Johnny Lee out, so he has to be replaced. But the one I'm hearing is that there's a new halfback in town.
Oh,
Josh Renton, who's played for Otago and the Highlanders.
Close.
Was it Jay?
Jay Renton.
Jay
Yep,
Renton.
He's played over games for played over 40 games for Southland. Sorry.
no relation.
Is he?
Yeah, Southland.
No relation to Hugh Renton.
Not sure.
No. He's a
Bit of a size difference, I'd imagine.
Yeah. There's the lock Josh, the halfback Jay. Are they related?
Josh,
Not sure.
Okay.
No.
Anyway, and then there's Hugh, cousin Hugh.
Oh, well, okay.
Okay, so let's get this right.
Okay.
Jay Renton is in town, and he's going to be on the bench. So we'll have a new Marco.
Is this because of Noah Hothan being out?
And Finlay Christie, and the injury to Mason Lund. Of course, they gave a debut to Will Thornelly.
Yes.
But he's really starting his rugby journey.
Yeah.
He made a nice cover tackle in the game, and he won't be disappointed with his debut. But I just think they want a bit more experience in the squad. So now they're back to having three halfbacks, right? So Jay Renton from Southland and the Highlanders. He's in.
I'm not sure. I'm not unsure if he's played for Highlanders, but potentially, definitely Southland.
Oh, interesting. Oh, we'll wait with bated breath on that one. So, but anyway, North Harbour will do the job.
Oh, we've got to do the job. That you've there'll be some other players rested. I know that, but I just can't recall exactly who is going to be. But is Sione Havili in the squad?
Yep, he's playing,
and that will help. That just replacing John Lee with Sione just
we've got a pretty good forward pack, haven't we? When you look at it now, isn't it? Because I mean, you look at our Lucy's. I mean, you got Blackadder, you got Anderson. Isn't he turning into a lethal weapon?
He's outstanding. Carries the ball so hard, and
Hunter Lepine starting at lock. Locking with Pin Strange, and Tane Hemapo is on the flank at number 6. So just some changes, and as I understand it, just making sure that they keep this squad rotated and fresh for the games coming up. Yeah, but you don't want to take North Harbour lightly, which is your point, right? And I'm sure that the talk in the club rooms is exactly that.
I just don't understand with the talent that comes out of that region that they, because maybe I'm just looking at history, but they used to absolutely fire. And I remember them not having some good results, and then them tearing us apart at Trafalgar Park. They've got some lethal weapons, and I'm just surprised that they haven't fired yet. So, that's why I just say, well, I'm sure every game you're going to go in there with caution, and and you've got to be on your game to beat any team. All right, let's look at the Rugby Championship results from the weekend and the update of the upset. You'd have to say, well,
of the 21st.
No one was picking this whatsoever. And was it 20-0 at halftime? I can't remember. It was
20,
2-7,
21,
something like that.
It's like that. So I got up, and it's on replay. I'm
yes.
7, and I'm watching. So I don't know the score, and it's 21-5.
Yeah.
And halftime comes, and you go, man, South Africa look like they'll run away with this. And then it was just a remarkable second half.
It was,
by
yeah.
Australia.
I think guys like Tom Wright, I think he scored a couple of tries. Like, I think he's so good. Another underrated player. Like, he can, as we saw against South Africa, he can just open a game up, like that, and score. He's so fast and elusive.
Yep.
They've got some outstanding players. So it's cool.
So Jorgensen, the winger,
yeah,
that was opposite number there and skinned him on the outside.
He had a guy inside him.
Yeah,
he could have passed the ball, but he had the confidence. He reminded me a little bit of Christian Cullen. He just sees a player, he just takes him on him.
It was a lovely stutter that just stopped that guy in his tracks and got him on the outside. And, as you say, Wright scoring that try, stepped inside Willemse. And, there was just so much to like about it. And once momentum got behind them, there was no stopping the tide.
And a couple of those tries were opportunistic. It was not unlike Tasman. You put the defence on and South Africa had to play a bit of catch up, and they threw the ball around and they got caught, and I think that's what Joe Smith was saying, was that, if they'd got, if it wasn't for the intercept, then they were away. They were going to be in the corner. So a couple of things went our way, but you cannot dismiss the effort and the momentum. And now this is what I wondered: who have South Africa played pre-season, before this championship?
The preparation is completely different, of course, because Australia had their 3 test series against the British and Irish Lions, and South Africa maybe played some
Georgia. I know they played Georgia.
Yeah.
They played the Barbarians, I think.
Yeah, the Barbarians.
That's right. Leicester was over there.
So I just think that intensity that Australia are at and what they were used to and what they've had to go through,
look, but they took their opportunities.
They did.
Wale's intercept, yes, that would be a try to South Africa. Has he not taken it? But he's got the pace to go on with it and just outrun them. They're a quick team.
They're a very quick team. Yeah, I think they're pretty exciting to watch, to be fair. So it's cool to see.
And James O'Connor just ran the show.
He read my mind because he knows that I said, well, should we be looking at him for the All Black? And he said, what are you talking about?
For the All Blacks, I'm saying, what are you talking about? For Australia, he's good for them.
He's born in New Zealand. But David Campese comes out and says, Joe Schmidt's never won a World Cup. What's he doing? Doesn't know how to coach rugby. And he had a blinder. You wouldn't say he had a blinder. I just think that he steadied the ship.
Controlled the team well, yeah.
He just played very calmly, made the right decisions.
Yeah.
Towards the end there, just little, 50-20, just to put the pressure back on. Just the smarts, and being around the game for such a long time. So it's going to be interesting, the next test, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the South Africans don't muck around when it comes to test week. They name their team on Monday. And they've named their team, and obviously they've decided that they need to bring back Andre Pollard at 10 to run the show and bring a little bit more orthodoxy into their game. Because at 21-0, I seriously thought that they were in for a festival of try scoring, and they lost their way. So they won't do that again. I know that for sure.
10 changes, is that right? Yeah. So he's just cleaned the slate, and I'm sure.
And he's got his proper midfield back, and Linde and Creel. So but every test match it's important that you win the forward battle, and the Australians did that. So
I think Will Skelton is a huge addition for them. He's an absolute giant.
So can Australia do it again? Cape Town.
Yeah, I'll go South Africa. They've been punched in the face in that first game, and they'll bounce back pretty strong. So
yeah, I agree with you. They're just going to tighten everything up. Pollard at 10.
They'll go back to traditional South African rugby.
Yes, and they'll have their 6-2 bench. The bomb squad will be in there. They'll just play the way that the best rugby team in the world at the moment should play.
Well, just imagine.
But it's exciting, isn't it?
Well, just imagine Australia do it again, because that's the championship,
Wide open.
wide open, and then we've got to take them on.
Yes,
in the
Bledisloe Cup.
I know. So anyway, let's talk about the Argentinian game. So New Zealand 41-24. How did we feel about that game?
So, yeah, it was a good win in the end. There was a poll on the breakdown. Do you think that the All Blacks play boring rugby? I don't think they do, but I think they play the percentages a lot more. And so, they got a good start. Argentina came back, but they finished it well by using their forward pack. So over there, passionate crowd, Cordoba, I think that was a win, a bonus point win that the coaches will be rather pleased with. But there's room for improvement again.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they're looking good. Like you said, room to improve. I think guys like Will Jordan, playing outstanding rugby at the moment. Good Tassie man. So no, I think they'll keep going.
Yeah,
yeah, and I think that look, it was messy at times from both sides. Second half, Argentina started putting the pressure on. Our bench started coming on, and I noticed that against the French team that it took 5-10 minutes just to get that cohesion right. But once they, all the bench was cleared and they were all on, it started coming together, and we finished strong, which was an issue last season because when we had our bench come on, they didn't fire.
Correct.
And we couldn't finish the game. So what I was heartened about was that they saw the Argentinians off, the bench got their act together, and then they settled things down and they finished the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the forwards can be pleased, the bench can be pleased, and there were some lovely touches from Sever Reece and Will Jordan. So
now, I also have to say that when Finlay Christie came on, I thought he lifted the tempo. I thought that he played with pace, accuracy. He really got that team going because I think in the second half there for a little bit they were disjointed. But when he came in, I thought he made an impact.
Okay.
That was my opinion.
Yeah, so good. You're welcome to it. I think that they're going to give Preston a run.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I really do. I think that because they know that Finlay's a really good defensive halfback. And that's important. But I do think that the kicking game that Preston's got, the long kicking game, is more like what Roygaard brings to the side. So I would think that they might give him an opportunity.
That'd be interesting. Okay, so are we same result?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, the New Zealand going to win. All Blacks going to win, but yeah, might be closer. Who knows? We'll see.
I mean, there's room, as you pointed out, room for improvement, isn't there?
Yeah.
And Jason Ryan said he wasn't that happy.
They weren't. Yeah, he wasn't. But there was lots to like. The forward pack went well. I do think that I'd like to see Ardy at 7 and Karefi on the bench. I just think that Satiti will come back and he could get a run at number 8. But there's no doubt that a Vi at 6 is just a bigger body, and whoever comes on he might go to lock because Tuipulotu's injured.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I think that everyone bangs on about the fact that 2027 isn't far away, and you've got to find your squad that you can take to the World Cup, and in the end give them game time, trust them. They'll get the job done.
Except for the fact that Moanga comes back for season 26-27. So he comes back. He has to play, Super Rugby before he can get back into the All Black squad. So
he plays NPC next year. Yeah, he doesn't play Super. He plays NPC, and then he's got the All Black. They say he's got...
So goes straight back into that number 10
He's got
spot.
10 tests to prove something, right? That's what he's got between...
That in the World Cup.
Yeah, that in the World Cup.
So
I tell you what, I personally would think that if I've got him as one of my 3-5-8s, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah. But it's hard to do it for Barrett and McKenzie, who have done years of work. He just walks straight back into it, doesn't he?
Well, into the squad. Then he's got to prove it. The number 1.
Yeah,
Bodie Barrett is playing much younger than his 34 years.
Yeah.
He's good, isn't he?
Yep, he's very good.
He's playing well. Okay, Motor World Marlborough Senior A results. And Pelorus Havelock getting a win, 24-22 over the Mutri. Waitohi 46-17 over Renwick, and Central 47 over Awatiri. And that means, Les, the top four.
It's semi-final time.
It is. Waitohi, Central, Renwick, and Awatiri take fourth spot, and behind Mutri, Pelorus Havelock, and then the Harlequins. So we do have our semi-finalists, and it is 2v3, Central versus Renwick. And probably on paper, you'd have to say Central will have the goods there.
Yes, but the points differential between the two of them in the whole season, there's only a couple of points in it. So it's going to be a really good game. Lansdowne Park, number 1 at 2:00 on Saturday. I think that'll be a game that will be well supported and interesting to watch. Yeah. And then you got number 1 Waitohi hosting Awatiri at Endeavour Park in Picton. And again, I'm sure the locals will be out in their numbers for that 2:00 game.
Yeah. Right. So you would say Waitohi would be the favourites there. So potentially Waitohi Central final.
Yes.
But who knows? Because it is finals footy.
Yep.
All right. The headlines and the Women's Rugby World Cup. It's a record-breaking cup final already. So the finals at Twickenham. There you go.
Okay.
And is now set to become the most attended women's rugby match ever. 82,000 tickets have sold out already. Oh. And across the tournament, ticket sales have already tripled those of the World Cup that was held in New Zealand. But, I mean, obviously on the doorstep of Europe and, you know, the population. But it just goes to show that women's rugby can pack the house out if the game's there. You know?
I think, like, it's not really surprising, to be fair, like the way that it's going, like you said. It's just always getting better, and the eyes on it, I feel like, are growing per game, you know, like it's gonna be great footy, really great footy, and like I said, it's not surprising. It's
good rugby too, you know, isn't it? Because they throw the ball around, the forwards like taking it up, and the backs are throwing it around. It's good, exciting rugby, isn't it?
Yeah. I think women's rugby is more joyful in the way it's played. They they're exuberant in the way they play. The men, obviously, there's a lot more pressure on them. But this is going to be an exciting tournament, and I'll certainly be watching my share of games. I'll catch highlights of a lot of the pool games, but I'll be watching the Black Ferns, and I'll probably watch that whole opening game just because it is the opening match between England and USA.
So quick lineup: Saturday, England versus USA. And then we've got Australia versus Samoa. On Sunday, Scotland versus Wales. Canada, who are going to be very interesting to watch because they've had some good results lately. They're taking on Fiji. France versus Italy. Ireland versus Japan. And then on Monday morning, South Africa versus Brazil. Good to see Brazil there. And 4:30 a.m. for those hard doers, New Zealand versus Spain. And I heard the coach saying they're not going to take them lightly because Spain do like to throw it around, and they've got a good kicking game. So he's making sure that the girls have a good start. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how it all goes. And who knows, maybe Canada might upset the apple cart because they had a good result against the Black Ferns and they've been performing quite well.
So you probably think the top four would be England, France, New Zealand, and Canada. You'd have to say.
But who knows what will happen?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jack.
Nice.
Pleasure to meet you, mate.
You too.
Good luck with the injury recovery. Let's hope that it goes well and you can get back on the park very shortly.
Appreciate it.
And also cross fingers for you that you can get the ticket to go on the Sevens tour. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks, Les. Any other news?
No. I do know that Jack's mum is a regular watcher and listener of the podcast, so you better give her a shout out, Jack.
Shout out to Colleen and John watching. Appreciate the support, obviously. So avid listeners. So
are they still in Wellington?
To you guys. They are still in Wellington. Yep, they are. Right. So they'll be down here. Hopefully, if I'm playing next week against Otago at Trafalgar.
Oh, will they? Awesome.
They'll make the trip. So, but big shout out to them.
Do we take on Wellington this year?
Mm,
No.
I'm not sure.
Good question. I was going to say that. Good opportunity for them to turn up. But they'll be supporting Tasman, I'd say. They'll be Tasman supporters.
Through and through.
All sorts of other things going on, and I can't quite keep up with it, but we've had an under-18s women's squad announced as well. We've got the under-19 guys. They were announced, and also Town versus Country, as it came to this weekend.
I think it was played, and I'm not sure of the result yet, mate. But, the Tasman development are playing. Yeah, there's a lot of rep rugby
happening around. So feel free to comment on our Facebook page under the post about results and things that are happening in your neighbourhood rugby-wise. Always keen to hear from you about what's going on. All right, thank you very much. We'll get back into it again next week. A big thanks to Stan and the team from the Turf Hotel. Don't forget to check out their Facebook page for everything that's going on at the Turf this weekend. Don't forget you can catch us on MBS Talk Nelson website and social media, Spotify, YouTube, and MBS Talk Nelson Digital Radio. And don't forget, if you want to get involved in the show, please get in touch. That's a wrap, and we'll see you next week for another episode of the Mako Rugby Roundup.
The Mako Rugby Roundup. What's on, where, and when. It's the Talk of Nelson. NBS Talk Nelson.